Bowls buddies, hello and welcome to another Monday troll through the Bowlers World Archives, where together we'll just tiptoe down memory lane and see what's changed, if anything, in the world of Crown Green Bowls, or CG Bowls as I might start calling it, or X Bowls, I don't know. Guys, thanks for joining me. Remember, if you enjoy these videos, hit that like button, and if you're not already a Bowls buddy, please hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free of charge, and don't forget to hit the notification bell for notifications of new content on the channel, which is currently 4 times a jolly week. So excellent. Now, if you remember last week, I looked back about 20 years. I think it was 2001, wasn't it? Yeah, 2001, March 2001. And somebody, well, a well-known bowler, Tommy Hayes, said, Andy, if you go back another 20 years, nothing will have changed. That was basically the point of the video. Nothing had changed in 20 years. So I thought, I'll go back another 20 years. So I've gone back to March 1981. And on the front page, Waterloo Threat. Now normally that would mean it's closing down or it's been sold or something, but no. There was a new upstart, a new kid on the block trying to usurp the Waterloo from its place as the prestigious competition in the game. And where was this? Where in the country could it possibly be? And it was a little club down the road from me, in that I don't really like using the word, oh go on then, in Blackburn, Whitton Bowling Club. And I'll read a little bit of what it says. The reign of Blackpool's famous Waterloo handicap as bowling's premier competition is to be challenged this summer by the dramatic arrival on the Crown Green scene of the English Open. Cash records are ready to be shattered as the Open aims for a total payout of £7,500, with a remarkable £5,000 being dangled as the bait for the eventual winner. And those figures top the total Waterloo payout by £2,380. The first prize more than trebles the £1,600 player trophy winning pickup. That doesn't make sense, but there you go. So, Whitton Bowling Club, they had a guy who was really keen on bowls, fairly wealthy, who wanted to put Whitton on the map, and he also got Thwaites Brewery involved initially, and they managed to get a magnificent amount of prize money. And also on the front page is an advert for the competition, and it makes really interesting reading. To win it, you have to go 6 times. 3 games on your first visit, then 2 visits around until you get to the semi-finals. And the way they were going to do the latter stages, well, I think best of 3, certainly in the final it was going to be the best of 3 21-up games, which yeah, is interesting. And I'm sure at some point as the year goes on we'll get to covering the final stages of this event. So it was a first prize of £5,000, which is an enormous amount of money now. It's even more back then. £5,000. That's probably is that a year's wage? Early 80s, possibly. It wouldn't be so far off. And the entry fee was £5, including greenage. Remember that. £5 including greenage. So there you go. Organiser John Parker. Yeah, John Parker. That was the guy's name. And it continues on page 3. I actually played Whitton Bowling Club many years after this. Interesting green. The club had been turned into a nursery at this point. But I always remember the English Open because there was a poster for it on the inside door of the Jack cupboard at Gaggil's and it was still there 10 years afterwards in 1991. So yeah, so you can see just from that one event alone the size of money that was being poured into Crown Green Bowls in the very early 80s. When you think that the Bassmaster, I think that got up to, was it £7,500 first prize, you know, so really, really big money. On page 4, apart from the advert of Fred Dibner, we all love a bit of Fred Dibner, Greenall's local bitter, right said Fred, is the announcement that Jack Lee lands his dream job as Waterloo boss. And Jack Lee was manager there from 81 all the way up to the year John Eccles won it, 1991 I think it was, when Steve Airy took over. So he was there through all the boom time was Jack, and he was very keen on getting rid of the professional rules, which he did very quickly. Got rid of the Blackpool rules and all the little nuances of when you played on the Waterloo, and we were playing under BCGBA rules. And at this time, 1981-82, all around this time, there was a battle going on between competition organisers and the BCGBA about the rules, because a lot of competitions still played professional rules, and I'll show you an advert later on in the bowler's world that advertises being played under professional rules, and they were trying to force everybody to follow British Crown Green rules, which, you know, even now we've still got an odd competition here and there that don't follow the rules, but yet they still have an open certificate, which doesn't make any sense, but there you go. For instance, the Big Smash, that plays under its own rules. The scoring system is completely different to British Crown Green, really. But I suppose the method of play is the same, so I don't know. But yeah, Jack, I don't remember an awful lot about him, to be honest, apart from the year I got to the last day, and he invited me into his office. He says, I guess you'll want some tickets for your parents, seeing as you're on the final day. Oh, thanks Mr. Lee, yeah, that'd be great. And he gives me these 2 tickets. He says, right, that'll be 10 quid or whatever. I'm like, I thought we were getting them for now. But there you go. Yeah, Jack Lee, originally from Warrington, eventually got the job he wanted. I think he was 58. He was an administrator for the local Warrington League before that, and you could say he sort of brought the Waterloo into the modern era of the game. You know, they built the stand, the West Stand, modernised that. The glass stand had been blown down and replaced by this point, I think. So yeah, he oversaw the massive boom in the game in the early 80s, did Jack. Page 5. Outlaw rules rebels, say BCGBA. Ooh, rules rebels. Rumblings over rules were heard when the British Crown Green Association held its annual meeting at Crewe. Competitions that play under professional rules have irritated the British CGBA officials for years, and they are warning this is the time to bring uniformity to the game. Whether you agree or not with that is entirely your opinion. Lancashire used to have big problems with it because obviously the majority of their competitions were played under the panel rules. Mostly the parts of the country, they didn't bother. They played mostly the BCGBA rules, but some did still play block and block. And I suppose it was only a matter of time, really, as a sport, if we were going to move forward, that we really should have had one unique set of rules. Bowls seems to be a sport that has a plethora of rules all over the country. Even in the flat green world, you have places that play to a different set of rules. Well, there you go. So that was big on the agenda, and 12 months later they're still saying the same thing in 1982. And the rest of the... oh, here's a little thing. 1981 saw the introduction of Cumbria as a British Crown Green associated county, which I'd totally forgotten about. Greater Manchester came in... when did they come in? Late 70s? Yeah, and then Cumbria, then North Lancs, I think in about 83, 84. Cumbria, an introduction to one of Crown Green bowling's new counties. Cumbria's main body of bowlers are drawn from the Furness District League, containing 39 teams of 12 playing in 3 divisions, mostly on Saturdays. Around 60% of the county team is drawn from the Barrow area, the rest coming from the Lakes, who play nights only, leaving them free on Saturdays to widen their experience outside the county. Many Barrow bowlers are looking further afield for tougher competition, and many entered the Waterloo Handicap for the first time last season. Yeah, so it was nice to get Cumbria into the fold, and of course they supplied one of the top names, Martin Gilpin, of course Ian Nicholson, the guy that travelled with him everywhere, not too shabby himself, amongst many others that came from Cumbria. So 1981 was the year they got introduced to the as a fully fledged county. And again, just scrolling through, £2,900 reward at Greenhalls, £4,500 at Bass Olympia. Amazing stuff, really. Money just pouring in. And I just want to... There's a page full of adverts here for bowls competitions. And it's interesting that looking at these, they don't seem to state how many entries they're looking for, so maybe they're open-ended. It's interesting to know a lot of them don't actually name the dates they're playing. They just say we're playing, we start on such a date and we finish on another date. Send us dates when you can't play, which is interesting, which is a little bit different to now. This was a competition that I had heard a lot about, because a lot of the people I sort of played with at Edgeside used to enter this. Champ Chicken Open Pairs competition, Langton Bowling Club, near Preston. £1,320, 256 pairs at £5. First prize £500, runner up £300. So, you know, really good money, all the dates, and then all games 21 up under professional rules. Others are saying standard jacks, no cancellations will be accepted, send dates that you can't play. Then this one at the top, Greenhall Whitley Championship, winner £1,000, played under Blackpool rules, standard jacks, all players off maximum 4 handicap, 21 up, 2 games a visit, no play Isle of Man week. And this is what's really interesting, I think, is when you look at the dates for this. Times of play, weekdays, 12 noon, 1 PM, 2 PM, 3 PM. Saturdays, 10 AM, 11 AM, 12 noon, 1 PM, 2 PM, 3 PM, 4 PM. Midweek, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I can remember playing midweek in the afternoon at Warrington. It seemed to be quite a regular thing to enter competitions during the week, played during the day. I used to play because it was school holidays, but people took afternoons off work and what have you. Can you imagine asking people to take half a day off work to play in a comp? Wouldn't happen, would it? But all these competitions, it meant a lot of visits to win the thing. Petrol was an irrelevance. You know, like I said, for that Whitton comp, 6 visits to win it. The Waterloo was about the same. A lot of these, you play 2 games, you go back, play 2 more games, and then you might be in the final day, or you might have another game to play, just one, you know. But at the bottom here, in the bottom left-hand corner, Georgian Dragon Hotel Hyde, £3,000 Gerard Kane handicap, 1 in 16 qualifiers. That's 4 games you have to win. Sundays at 11 AM and 5 PM starting April the 26th, final 32 on August the 30th. So they're having 32 qualifying sessions with 16 on each session. It's a lot of players, isn't it? And you've 4 games to win. So if you travel with somebody, you'd end up playing them. So, you know. But they were making a big thing that it was only 1 game to qualify. Because most competitions at this time were at least 2 games to get to a final day. Very rare you went and played 3 games and you were in the last 16. So I just wanted to point out the number of competitions, the amount of money that was in, and it only got more over the rest of this decade. 1980s were really the boom time, and it makes you wonder just how it's all gone wrong. I have my own opinions about it, and I'm sure if I've not already shared them with you, I will share them one day. And I think us bowlers have an awful lot of the blame to take as well. We're not totally innocent in all this, but that's discussion for another day. I'm going to leave it there. I think I've covered quite a bit of the March 1981 Bowlers World, where we saw that there was piles of money being thrown at us bowlers. So please join me Wednesday for a session of me talking bowls yet again. I've got quite a few things to talk about. The development pool of equipment is going well. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the East Lancs Super League, and I want to talk about competition scene in general. A little bit of a bugbear that I want to discuss with you all. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye now. Stay safe, keep your mask on, take care really, that's the main thing, and hope you'll join me on Wednesday. So I will say ta-ra for now, see you soon.